If you realize in this game, I have only really ever shot people that aren't looking at me. Every time somebody was looking at me, like in a 1v1 situation, I duck out and dip. Alright guys, this video is going to be me playing Echo in a plat game, and the main focus and the topic of today is going to be picking unfair fights. Now, I'm going to start with the rules, because you guys yelled at me and told me to. So picking unfair fights, this is how I think about unfair fights in Overwatch. 2v1s, 3v1s, etc., right? So that's going to be isolated targets. The key is this one here. You're looking for isolated targets, right? Especially in lower ranks, there's going to be a ton of them, right? Now this is Platinum, you're starting to get to like the upper half of the game, but you're still looking for this. You're going to see it a lot. And engaging enemies who are not looking at you or not shooting you. You only ever dive targets that are not looking at you. You're going to get an extra second and a half to do as much damage as you can into that person to get them to panic or kill them, right? This also applies, your tank goes in, you go after your tank. Because if your tank goes in, they're going to be shooting your tank, they're not going to be shooting you. You're going to see so many examples of me doing this, and this is the focus, right? Alright, into the gameplay. So, Echo Shambali Monastery. So things about Echo. Echo can't really engage super close, she has a lot of burst damage, but she has to play a lot of cover and really rely on her teammates to engage first before she goes. Her engagement timing is critical, right? So you can see right here, I'm not even actually looking at their team. I don't care about doing damage here. I just want to get this cart to the corner. I'm just bumping it forward. And now I look over at my tank. My tank wants to push high ground. I want to rotate to go help him, right? It's a team game. You got to help your team. So as soon as I rotate here, I see this Mei. I almost get the kill on the Mei. Mei has to force ice block, and now I disengage. If you didn't notice that, the Orisa used both cooldowns, okay? Horrible play by Orisa, but now that I know he used Fortify and he used Spin, I need to now wait like 3 seconds and then I go in. And Hazard knows this as well. Even though we're in Platinum, we can still identify these types of things, and they're really important to know this, right? So you're going to see me hanging out for a little bit. I'm purposely just sitting here. So now his Fortify is not up. Anna hits the sleep, but didn't even hear that or realize that. Now, here's when I go in. And you're going to see exactly how I'm engaging here with my tank. This is huge. We go in at literally the exact same time. Literally the exact same time. We both were on the same page to that extent. And nobody's looking at me, and we're able to get all these kills, right? So let's look at that from my point of view one more time. Engagement timing is so key here. It is so key. Did that kill a Mei? Orisa, remember, she had no cooldowns, so now she's just getting blasted. She has to give that space up top, and we're able to just completely take advantage of it and roast their team. Mei ends up getting rezzed, and I try to ego Mei and end up dying. It doesn't even matter, though, because we won the fight. So, alright, moving into the next one. Remember, keeping unfair fights, engagement timing, huge, alright? Let's see how we apply these rules here. These two rules, I'm going to go back to them. 2v1s, 3v1s, engaging enemies who are not looking at you or shooting at you, okay? You're going to see this applied here with how I use cover and angles. So right now, if you see here, my Hazard is preoccupied with people up top, alright? So that means, imagine this cart has like a leash. There's like a minimum range you want to be around this cart at all times, because if you're too far ahead of the leash, you're overextending, and if you're too far behind the leash, you're giving too much space to the enemy team. So I'm basically just going to be playing really safe around the cart. But I'm also going to be playing with my Hazard to the best of my abilities. Orisa's not shooting at me, I get a lot of damage in on Orisa, and I hide. Over and over again. Bastion's not shooting at me. I can start poking out Bastion until he looks at me, and then I run away. Every single time. It's like, it's that easy to get free damage in. So, this is one of the things I talk about with cover and angles, right? You need to look at your team's objective. What is your team trying to do? Are we trying to kill Orisa and Sojourn right now? And the answer is no. Are we trying to poke Bastion off of high ground? The answer is yes. Now, I don't think this is the best play. It's not optimal, but I need to help my team and support them in this. So that means, if I hold this angle and just keep shooting up here, like right here, I can still help just a little bit, a tiny bit. But if I start poking down this main angle and shooting this Orisa and Sojourn and Juno, that's going to do a 0 for my team. I'm going to take a lot of damage, and you can already see the difference between a top 500 player and Platinum players. They overextended this angle. That's bad. That's letting Sojourn get free damage while I'm holding this angle, and I'm just getting free damage helping Hazard. Little things like that are really crucial to understand in the game. Once again, they're not looking at me, and I rotate to that angle. I'm able to get a bunch of damage in. And now, I thought that this Bastion was isolated because I saw this Mercy drop. So this is kind of a mistake by me. I know my hazard's going in here, which was going to preoccupy Juno. So I end up going right in on this Bastion because I think I can get a kill on him. I don't do any damage to him. This Mercy is stuck to him this entire time, and I always forget how much health Bastion really has. But a risk versus reward with that was this. I have my ult and I know I can live. And this is a terrible ult again. This is terrible, but I mean, the bright side is I'm wasting a lot of their time. And I'm still not dead. So I get roasted and I get punished for my terrible play. And now I need to go under because if I want to fight a fair fight with this Bastion, I need him to drop. I can't just play this angle while he has a Juno shooting him in the back. So I need to now tuck myself in here to get him to drop. And if he drops here, he's just dead. That's that's all I can do, right? I need to just play my life. He does exactly what I want him to do. I bait him into this bad position, and we're able to get the kill on him. My Mercy completely dips from me, but because I'm still here, and I have a lot of mobility as Echo, I can just live. I can play my life forever, right? So I'm continuing to play my life here, alright? The Orisa ends up using his ult. We get a kill on their Sojourn. So now I know they have no DPS, so I still don't have to die point here. I can still live. I get all the way out, go straight towards that mini, because now if this Orisa wants to kill me, he needs to run all the way off point and chase me all the way this way, and I know they don't have any DPS. And if he also chases me, then that leaves it open for the Mercy res. I'm still just trying to live. It's important to live. We end up getting the res on the hazard. Because we get the res on the hazard, I know they're going to be focusing him, which means that I can now start entering this and make like an awkward 2-on-1. And I'm still going to be playing this angle here because I'm really scared of whoever's up top. I know Bastion's coming back. I didn't realize how far back he was. So honestly, I assumed that he'd be like right here, but whatever. And then Juno's obviously not a threat. So I could just play here and just shoot at their Orisa. We end up killing their Orisa, and then, yeah, we win. So if you just see that, I'm always trying to get opportunities where their enemy team isn't shooting at me, and I'm engaging and helping my own team. So this is a big learning lesson on Shambali Monastery. I don't know what it is with people thinking that this is an off angle, okay? This is a flank. If you decide to go peek this edge right here, this is a flank, all right? You don't want to be on flanks as Bastion. That's terrible. You're basically so stationary. If we rotate around, you're going to be stuck here. It's bad. So let's see how we take advantage of these situations here. Now, I'm not actually looking for any kills there, but because we're pushing the objective for free, but I'm looking for poke damage, and I'm doing scouting peaks. These are like scouting peaks. I'm just kind of like doing damage and running away. Their Sojourn pops her ult, and as soon as she pops her ult, I instantly run all the way back, okay? If my team was any good, they would do the same exact thing, because just like that Bastion in the first point, if this Sojourn wants to drop to kill us, that opens up such a bad angle for her and creates like a 4v1 situation. But if they're just going to stand here and let her on high ground, she's just going to absolutely annihilate my team. So I make the right play. Ariana ends up dying, but does it really matter? No, because we get the res. So now, once again, let's really think about this position. They have a Bastion Mercy here, okay? But this is a flank, remember. If we just attacked people in main, they can't even go over and protect the main. And I can just walk in and help my hazard with whatever objective he's trying to accomplish. Playing with your team is so important. You can't do it all on your own. So he wasn't looking at me, I got extra damage on Bastion, but now I'm like, just screw them. Like, just walk forward and kill this Ramatra. So we end up walking forward on him. They can't rotate fast enough. Bastion's still stuck on this isolated angle. And because of that, we're just able to annihilate Ramatra. And not only that, but look, when I talk about these unfair fights, 2v1s, 3v1s, look at this. Tell me that this isn't a fair fight for this Bastion right now. Watch what we're about to do to this guy. Dude's just, he blows up instantly. And there's no risk involved there. He's just dead. These are things that you'll understand from just playing the game more and more and more. So we're coming down main here. We're just kind of shooting the people in front of us. Like, their tank and their Sojourn is playing zero cover or angles at all. They should be back here. Like, he's playing in the open here, which is just going to get him stuck by our hazard. Our hazard does a great job at taking advantage of that. We just do a lot of damage and just lay into them. Since they use their Juno ult, you instantly just get out. You know that your spawn is right here and you don't have to die here, so you can just rotate all the way out. And you're going to see that's what I do, but then you're also going to see the difference between me and a Platinum player who is not going to understand this as much. I back all the way out and take the most cover I possibly can, because there's no point in winning this fight anymore. Our Hazard's dead, they use their Juno ult, just get out. Like, our spawn's right here. But instead, people don't know how to play cover. The Sojourn definitely did a better job than Anna, but if you look at Anna, she's in the middle of Africa right now. She is, like, literally in the middle of nowhere. Also, Mercy went for a res on Hazard. Whatever, to each their own. But I'm playing disciplined Overwatch here. I'm waiting for my tank to come back. Tank finally comes back, but it's already too late. Our Anna's now dead. I can't help them here at all. They just need to be playing cover and they would have lived. So I'm just kind of waiting for a tank to get back. Tank gets back. Now I have my copy, and I try to force this too much. I completely forget all my Ramatra's keybinds. It's a disaster. You're going to see what happens here. So once again, my team is still staggering. They are still staggering, but there's nothing you could do to control their characters, right? And tilting's not going to help either. You just kind of have to play your own game. Our tank's trying to chase their Sojourn. It's still, I'm kind of like, oh my god, this is a disaster. And I don't want to fight anybody down main because it's not going to lead to anything. Like, even this fight right here, this looks like an innocent rotate, but I would have seen lower level players try to fight these three people. But instead, you need to still play with your team. I need to wait for Hazard to come back. So, since I did that, this Ramatra has no idea how to play cover, and he runs in Africa here. And because of that, his next rotate is to go all the way back, and I can now just start getting free damage in on him and take advantage of that. I see that he pops his shift, and now I think that I can use my ult. So I use my ult, and I completely forget all of Ramatra's keybinds. It's a disaster. And I'm the only one here, too, as well. So it's just kind of like, oh, that's really awkward. Bastion uses the shift, whatever, right? I still have 5 seconds on my ult, I have a lot of health, and now I go for a flank here because they're playing really tight around this corner, and I know whatever's happening behind me with that Sojourn just finished, so now I can go in. I walk in here right as our Hazard uses his ult. It's great flank. We're able to just start cleaning up their team here. Their Ramatra popped his ult, and we just clean up. If you realize in this game, I have only really ever shot people that aren't looking at me. Okay? Every time somebody was looking at me, like in a 1v1 situation, I duck out and dip, right? Anytime anyone's looking at me, I'm hiding. But every time they're not looking at me, I'm shooting them and engaging on them. So let's see how we take advantage of this one now, okay? So as soon as that Sojourn has an unfair fight on me, I start hiding around this corner. We heard Bastion on this left side, and let's see how we can take advantage of it. They end up switching Roadhog as well. So Hazard goes in, I see him go in, and I instantly turn towards Bastion. We're able to just clean him up instantly. You need to play with your team. Engagements, 2v1, isolated target, boom. Perfect example right here. Perfect example of this. Alright? Alright, continuing. We're just doing damage now. I mean, once you like fall apart like that, it's just kind of over. Like, you killed their tank. Like, once again, none of these fights are even. None of these fights are 1v1s that I'm taking. And that's why it's always like, you've always heard like, oh, like in my games, people actually shoot at me. Well, it's because you're taking poor engagement time. Like, you're not engaging well at all. And then we're able to just really like clean up from here and finish up the fight. So we go on to pretty much stomp this game. It's really important to play with your team. Like, I like to say that I carried this game, but like, honestly, I just played with my team. The clear mistakes are like the staggering and the wasted ults. But, I mean, the most important thing that you can do is just play with your teammates, be aware of it, okay? I hope you guys learned something from this video. Like and subscribe if you do. Yeah, I might have a gold one coming out soon too. I know I went from silver to platinum, and then we might go gold. But yeah, I have a playlist for educational videos if you want to watch it. Peace out.